pizza's roots stretch back further than Italy, weaving through cultures that saw bread as a vessel for survival and creativity alike. Wander back to the sun-baked lands of ancient Egypt around 3000 BCE, where bakers kneaded dough from emmer wheat and baked it flat on hot stones. They'd drizzle it with olive oil, scatter herbs like coriander or cumin, and perhaps add a dash of honey for sweetness. The aroma must have filled the air like a gentle invitation to gather. These weren't elaborate feasts. They were quick, portable meals for laborers along the Nile, much like grabbing a slice on the go today. But here's where it gets intriguing. Similar ideas bubbled up across the sea in ancient Greece. Their plakis was a hearty flatbread, topped with onions, garlic, and fresh herbs from hillsides, baked in clay ovens that crackled with olive wood. Philosophers might have paused debates for a bite. It reminds of modern street food hacks where simplicity sparks joy. And over in Persia, soldiers under Darius the Great around the 6th century BCE took it a step further. They baked their flatbreads right on their shields over open fires, layering on melted cheese and dates for a sweet, savory punch that sustained them through battles. These parallels are surprising. It's like discovering that a favorite comfort food has cousins in unexpected places. This foundation of ingenuity set the stage for Rome, where the influence deepened. As the Roman Empire expanded, so did their love for panis focaccius, a focaccia-like bread pressed flat and adorned with olive oil, herbs, and sometimes cheese or honey. Baked in wood-fired ovens that dotted the streets of Pompeii, these treats were sold to the masses, their crusts golden and edges slightly charred from the intense heat. Bay leaves might add an earthy note, evoking the scent of Mediterranean groves. Romans even referenced something akin in Virgil's Aeneid, where heroes ate their thin wheaten cakes topped with foraged goods, only to realize they devoured their plates too. A lighthearted anecdote that feels like an early nod to pizza's playful side. Fast forward to 997 CE in the quiet Italian town of Gaeta, and the first written whisper of the word pizza appears in a rental document promising the landlord pieces of dough as payment. It wasn't the saucy delight known today, more like a simple bread, perhaps sweetened or spiced. Yet this marks a gentle shift as medieval Italy began experimenting. In Liguria, chickpea flour mixed with water became farinata, a thin, crispy flatbread that's still enjoyed today, its nutty flavor a subtle bridge to the past. This evolution feels like a slow dance where humble ingredients gain new life through trade and curiosity. But the real magic happened when a new world discovery met old world traditions. By the 18th century, Naples buzzed with energy, a port city alive with sailors, merchants, and the working poor. Here, flatbreads transformed into something revolutionary. Tomatoes, brought from the Americas in the 1500s, were initially eyed with suspicion, thought poisonous due to their vibrant red hue. But Neapolitans embraced them, simmering them into sauces with salt and basil, their tangy sweetness cutting through the dough's mildness like a fresh breeze. Street vendors, known as pizzaioli, sold these pizzi from carts, folding them for easy eating amid the crowded alleys. The dough rose softly in wood-fired ovens, reaching blistering heats that puffed the edges into airy cornition. Imagine the sizzle as tomato sauce met hot crust, releasing steam scented with garlic and oregano. It was food for the forgotten, cheap and nourishing, much like how flatbreads sustained ancient nomads. This revelation sparks wonder. While Naples claims the crown, parallel stories unfolded elsewhere, like in Argentina, where Italian immigrants crafted focaccia, a thicker focaccia topped with onions, echoing those Roman roots, but with a South American twist. Then came 1889, a pivotal year that elevated pizza from streets to palaces. King Umberto I and Queen Margherita visited Naples, seeking local flavors amid their gourmet routine. Pizzaiolo Raffaele Esposito created 3 varieties, but the Queen favored one with tomato for red, mozzarella for white, and basil for green, mirroring Italy's flag. Named Pizza Margherita in her honor, it wasn't an invention from scratch, but a refinement, its creamy cheese melting into the sauce like a warm embrace. Word spread, and pizza began its quiet migration. In Genoa, farinata evolved into fina, sometimes stacked atop pizza for a layered pie, a custom that hopped to Uruguay and Argentina with immigrants. There, by the mid-19th century, pizza paralleled Naples' rise, popular among port workers who savored thick-crusted versions with cheese and onions, their hands dusted in flour as they ate on the docks. Here's a whimsical what. Imagine if those royal bites hadn't happened. Would pizza have stayed a local secret? This royal nod ignited a spark that crossed oceans. As waves of Italian immigrants reached America in the late 1800s, they brought their recipes, adapting to new worlds. In 1905, Gennaro Lombardi opened the first U.S. pizzeria in New York City's Little Italy. Using coal ovens to mimic Naples' heat, the pies emerging with smoky undertones that drew crowds. But pizza lingered in ethnic enclaves until after World War II, when returning GIs craved the slices they discovered in Italy, their stories turning curiosity into craving. By the 1950s, innovations bloomed. Chicago's deep dish, with its buttery crust cradling layers of cheese and sauce like a hearty casserole. New York's thin, foldable slices for fast-paced streets. Chains like Pizza Hut in 1958 standardized it, making pizza a household staple. Yet lesser echoes persist, like Hawaiian pizza, born in 1962 in Ontario, Canada, when Greek-born Sam Panopoulos tossed pineapple on for a tropical tang, blending sweet with savory in a way that nods to ancient Persian date-topped breads. This twist always amuses. From Shields in Persia to Cannes in Canada, pizza adapts like a chameleon, finding new homes. Today, pizza circles the globe with fresh interpretations. In Japan, mayonnaise drizzled atop seafood toppings creates a creamy contrast, while Korea's bulgogi pizza marries marinated beef with cheese in a fusion that feels both familiar and novel. Iceland even adds bananas for a surprising sweetness, echoing those early honeyed flatbreads. And in space, astronauts have enjoyed specially prepared versions since 2001, their dough defying gravity in zero-G ovens, a far cry from ancient stones. But amid these, hidden influences shine. Turkish lahmacun, with its thin dough and spiced meat, parallels early Mediterranean flatbreads. French pissaladière adds caramelized onions and anchovies, a nod to Roman simplicity. These cross-cultural threads remind that pizza isn't owned by one place. It's a shared evolution, inviting pondering own twists at home. Uncovering these connections adds a layer of magic to every bite. Reflecting on this journey from Egyptian hearths to orbital ovens, pizza's evolution reveals a story of adaptation and shared human creativity. Humble dough rising through time, enriched by cultures far and wide. It's not just food, it's a tapestry of history where each topping tells a tale. Next time, perhaps dive into the secrets of pasta's winding path. If this exploration sparked curiosity, share own food stories in the comments and subscribe for more from the Food Prestige. If this journey through food's past resonated, consider subscribing to the Food Prestige for fresh discoveries every week.